Hello, everyone. It's Dr. C here with you today. I want to talk with you about the Super Fertility Summit airing July 23rd through the 29th. So, there are some critical topics that we're going to be covering in the summit that I want to make sure that you know about. And then I want to highlight two of our incredible sessions that we have for you in the Super Fertility Summit, one with Kate Northrup and the other with Dr. Stephanie Estima. And these are both incredible, incredible women. So we are covering the full life cycle of reproduction for women in the Super Fertility Summit. So obviously, if you're somebody who has been struggling to get and or stay pregnant, so you haven't been able to conceive yet even though you've been trying, or you get pregnant but you experience miscarriage or other types of losses, or you've had a baby that didn't turn out to be as healthy as you hoped. If you fall into any of these circumstances or categories, please make sure that you join us for the Super Fertility Summit, July 23rd through the 29th, because you have access all in one place to an incredible amount of information with incredible experts. Think we have 43 experts total in addition to myself. So that's 44 experts total. And it's very high level information. So it's free. But just because it's free doesn't mean that it's not high quality information. In fact, this is the fertility event of the year for women and also for practitioners, of course, curated for you by a woman scientist, myself. So make sure you're there if you're really in a place where you can't figure out why you're not pregnant yet, or you get pregnant but you're not staying pregnant, or you haven't been able to carry your pregnancy to term or give birth to a healthy baby. If you have a child with autism or some other chronic mental or physical or neurocognitive health condition, it's very important that you join us for the Super Fertility Summit. Now, in addition to that, if you're somebody who's not yet ready to have children, but you know you want to have children in the future, and you're trying to figure out how to plan for having the family you want to have and manage education and career, then you want to join us for the Super Fertility Summit as well, because we talk a lot about how you map out your life and you plan ahead for having your complete family and for making sure that that family is healthy, starting with you being a healthy, happy woman, professional, partner, if you're partnered or want to be partnered, and mother and whole person. So this Super Fertility Summit was designed with you in mind across the adult reproductive lifespan. And wherever you are in preparing for or wanting your children, this summit is going to meet you there. And there's incredible depth in these sessions, and you will come away from these sessions having clear, concrete action steps that you can start taking today. And even on some of the sessions, we actually do exercises right there on the session. So make sure that you join us. So if you're somebody who's wondering, how do you know if you're ready to be a mom? How do you know if you need help getting pregnant? At what point do you start to pay attention and say, okay, this might not be normal, how long it's taking me to get pregnant? If you are somebody who has been imperfect at preventing pregnancy at some point in your reproductive life and you never got pregnant unintentionally, what does that potentially mean for your fertility and what you need to do in advance of wanting a baby? And that applies to most people. Most people have been imperfect about preventing pregnancy. And many people who are imperfect at preventing pregnancy will have an unplanned pregnancy. But for those who don't, there's information in that history that you want to extract. We talk about that. We talk about what do you do if you are worried about your anti-Müllerian hormone level or other indicators of ovarian reserve? What about if you're worried about egg quality? What if you're worried about sperm quality? What if you have PCOS or endometriosis or fibroids? What if you have menstrual concerns? Your periods and your menstrual cycles are short or long or irregular. All of these things are covered in the Super Fertility Summit and so much more. So if you saw yourself in any of those questions, make sure that you join us. And it's free to join us, but you need to RSVP now. And we will start our sessions on July 23rd. We go until July 29th, and every day is power packed. So you don't want to miss a thing. If you want us to send you the link so that you can RSVP for free, just comment with the word ease, write the word ease, EASE, in the comments or send it via DM, and we will take care of you. We're real humans messaging you. We're not bots. So if it's not automatic, don't be alarmed. Keep an eye out on your inbox because we will send you the information there. And then you need to take action right away so that you secure your spot and you secure your free access to the Super Fertility Summit. All right, let's talk about Kate Northrup and Dr. Stephanie Estima. I'm really excited for you to hear from these incredible women. So I'm going to share just 3 quotes from Kate Northrup's interview. And for those of you who are not familiar with Kate, she is the best-selling author of Money, a Love Story, and of Do Less, which is all about managing our time, our energy, and our work in harmony with our cyclical nature as women or menstruating persons. So really synced up with the menstrual cycle, or if you're no longer menstruating or you've stopped menstruating for some reason, then you can use different markers of the passage of time to sync up. And she is also the host of the podcast Plenty. And she's just a really incredible thought leader, human, and friend and mentor. So here are just a couple of her quotes. Our bodies are incredibly wise and inherently fertile. Our survival wiring can unconsciously prevent us from the expansion required to conceive. The nervous system mitigates our emotions, and our emotions activate our thoughts and beliefs. Healing begins with the body, not with the mind. Life is created in space. We need to create space for conception by managing stress and optimizing our nervous system health. And it's really interesting because Dr. Mark Sklar also tapped into this concept of needing space to conceive and how life is created in space. I'm really excited for you to hear Kate Northrup's marvelous, soulful session and also to learn from Dr. Mark Sklar. And I'll preview his session during the coming week. Okay, let's talk about Dr. Stephanie Estima. I think I said that incorrectly. Estima. It's so funny. It's Portuguese. I should know that. Estima. I normally say it correctly, but right now I'm doubting myself. So Stephanie, forgive me if I'm saying your name incorrectly. She is the host of the podcast Better with Stephanie. She has a really wonderful and informative Instagram account, and she is the author of the Betty Body book. And she's done fertility library entries with us. She's really incredible. Here are a couple of her quotes from her session. Your body has the extraordinary capacity to maximize your health. Symptoms are just your body's way of communicating with you, of saying that maybe you are out of sync and require recalibration. Women are not little men. Understanding and honoring your cyclical nature is key to optimizing your health and fertility. Treat yourself the way your fertility requires and expects of you by nourishing your body, moving it appropriately, and honoring your natural rhythms. And the conversation with Dr. Stephanie is really about fertility in the perimenopausal years and even in the menopausal years. And those are two periods of time when the majority of the world is counting you out when it comes to fertility. So you really want to tune in to this conversation if you are trying to have your children later on in the reproductive span, or you anticipate that you will want to have your children later on because of your education, your career, or somebody like me who got a PhD and then did a postdoctoral training and then was on the tenure track at USC. Somebody like me, it's natural. Maybe it's not natural, but it's common to be having children later on in the reproductive span. And of course, I had all my three super babies in my late 30s and 40s and conceived them on the first try at a time when the common discourse is most of your eggs are no good anymore and you have 5% or less chance of getting pregnant in any one given cycle. And because most of your eggs aren't good anymore, even if you do get pregnant, if you happen to fall within that 5% chance and you do get pregnant, the likelihood is that you're going to miscarry because the eggs weren't viable in the first place, and therefore the pregnancy won't be viable. And so I share, I'm an N of one, but this is what becomes possible when we primester. And I'm going to teach you a lot about that in the course of the Super Fertility Summit because it comes up in the conversations that we're having. And I just want to share that as an example of another possibility that is very different from what you're hearing constantly and you're bombarded with constantly. And then the conversation with Kate Northrup is really the overarching theme of that conversation is really about money, work, and our fertility and the role of the central nervous system in the interrelatedness of those topics. So I'm really excited for you to experience the Super Fertility Summit. You can head straight to the link in my Instagram bio and you can access for free and a very important checklist and guide on the top 11 supplement secrets for reducing miscarriage risk. That will also give you free access to the Super Fertility Summit. If you don't want to go there to the Instagram link in my bio directly, then just comment with the word EASE, EASE, and we will send you the direct link to access the Super Fertility Summit for free. All right, I'll be back to see you tomorrow, and we will preview a couple more of the experts who will be joining us in the Super Fertility Summit. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Sending you off with warmest wishes and sprinkling super baby dust in your direction.